What's up guys, this is Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and I have just checked. There has not been a video on Annette in English since 2019, and despite the fact that there has been a rework in the beginning of 2021, I haven't made a video in English, so I think it is more than time to feature Annette on this channel again. And I've been playing her as a support hero, and I was actually quite surprised how good the whole game went. So let's start off with the build that I've been playing with her, and equipment wise I went with something the game calls Insta Burst. So we've got of course the support item in here, but the rest of the build is basically a true mage with basically no real tank items. Therefore we're going with some utility with various agony and Tome of the Reaper to suppress the healing in the enemy team, and then we're going with a lot of nice damage items with Diadem and Holy of Holies, and same goes for the enchantment section. As you can see, we've got Axe of Sacrifice, we've got the Holy Verdict, we've got Holy Thunder, Raging Inferno and Deadly Claw to boost our damage to the maximum. And Arcana wise, I'm going with something like this. It's 10 times Violate level 3, it's 10 times Devour level 3, and 10 times Hex level 3 for some additional cooldown reduction. And I have taken Flicker as a talent to be a little bit better in terms of mobility. I think it's quite worthwhile to not take Heal or Enfeeble with her, because her talent gives her the opportunity to go into the close combat to kind of use her ult in a more offensive way. And in addition to that, this talent is also quite helpful for getting out of dangerous situations. I mean, you guys all know what Flicker is for, but in this case I had the feeling that Flicker is a little bit better than all the other choices in the talent section. So this is going to be today's video. If you want to support this channel, now's the time to hit the like button, to put something down in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. For all the new viewers out there who have just stumbled across my channel, there is a video every 2 days here. So if you hit the subscription button, put on the notifications bell, you are not going to miss any of my videos, and that should be your personal choice. So hit all the buttons out there, share the video on every platform that you know, and let's get started with today's gameplay. Enjoy, have a nice evening. Alright, so here we go. As you might know, or as you might discover, I am in a duo kill with my mate Doctor here. We occasionally play some games, so I kind of know what this is all about. Hayate is one of his personal preferences. That said, Hayate is one of the strongest mages out there in the meta, and he's not going to be nerfed or something like that in some of the upcoming patches. So if you guys are looking for a really strong AD carry, this is your champion to go for. Better max him, better learn him out. Nice. And this was the loveliest flicker of my whole Arena of Valor career, I suppose. So talking about the choices, as you can see, I'm paired with Hayate, so I think we have a really strong matchup. I've got good crowd control, so I can help Hayate on setting up lanes and kills. In the mid lane, we've got a pretty decent choice with Maganga. Not really strong, not really weak, but of course not one of the powerhouses out there in the game. In the jungle, we've got Kriknak. Same goes for him. Kriknak has his moments, especially if the enemies are quite squishy. And he's also not one of the strongest choices in this recent position. But I mean, you can do good with some sort of hero that you have kind of gotten some experience to play with. And to complement our team composition, the last pick was Flash in a kind of unusual way. He is going to play on the top lane against Arthur, so we're going to see how well this is going to turn out. But the beginning of the game turned out quite well with a first blood for me here. So on the opposing team, we've got Arthur, which is still one of the best choices, especially for beginners, because he has a really decent setup. He's got good mobility, he's got good damage, and he's also quite tanky. So he's also a character that can really force things into the enemies, especially because he's got some good engage mechanics, especially with his S1 and his ult. So he is someone that you really need to look out for in terms of team fights, because he can turn the tide of the battle with an instant. On the mid lane, we've got Zata, who has been one of the strongest choices before he was being nerfed a little bit. That said, I would say he's still a really, really good mage, quite superior to Maganga if played correctly, because he has a really great ult that is going to deny a lot of shots into him. So he has some sort of invincibility against lots of things incoming when he is in ult state, and yeah, he can be quite devastating if the player knows what to do with Zata, but we're going to see if this is going to happen in this case. On the duo lane, we are facing Helen, the new champion that has removed Poira from the game. Nothing crazily changed, it's basically just the appearance. Combined with Valheim, I think she is not the strongest in terms of the team composition. Caffney and Helen would be a lot better, but we're going to take whatever it takes. And last but not least, we've got Butterfly in the jungle, who's also more sorts of a beginner or mid-section elo champion. She has her moments. She's actually quite tanky after a couple of reworks and sessions and stuff like that. But if she falls behind at the beginning of the game, she's going to have a hard time getting back in. And as you can see, we are just nuking her to death here. And that comes from all the damage that we have put in the build. I mean, you guys have seen it at the beginning of the game. So we are basically full AP, which means full ability power. And there wasn't that much that Butterfly could do against it, besides running away, and she was just a little bit too slow. So we're doing good damage here. Unfortunately, stealing some kills from our team. But then my rule of thumb is always to get the kill, because if I don't get it, maybe the kill won't be there at all. So a kill on me is better than no kill at all. But I just set myself to tone down a little bit after these first encounters, where we really kind of fucked up the enemies at the beginning. As you can see, we already scored 8 kills and the enemy have just 1. Here comes a really bad Zata ult. Nothing has been uploaded, so you need to put some shots into the stuff before you are going full crazy berserk with Zata, because your ult is just going to get better the longer you use abilities on the enemies. So that's always something that you need to keep in mind if you want to unleash his full potential, which this Zata player obviously didn't, and therefore the ult was actually quite lackluster. Not really that much damage dealt. And I mean, the good thing is on Zata that the cooldown on the ult is actually fairly low, so it's not really a big deal if you miss some of the shots and you don't use the ult to the fullest potential. But obviously there are better usages of this ult than this player has just shown. I think this flash move was a little bit too close to Helen, because now he has problems to get behind her. But still, we are really wrecking the enemies in this gameplay. 11 kills versus 2, that's actually not something to write home about. Now the enemies are kind of getting a grasp back into the game, because they want a team fight, and now we need to be careful on not kind of getting or letting them have too much room, because so far we were really kind of demanding or dictating them what they were able to do. Here's another kill for Crickneck, so nice play from Crickneck here. And now I just used my ult in order to get another kill on Helen and take her out of the game, because she's actually quite annoying. If you guys have ever played against Poira, you know what I'm talking about. She has this heal, she has this stun, it's super annoying, so you need to stop it in the tracks right where it is. And that turned out quite nicely. And as you can see, tower wise, we also have the upper hand. We already managed to get a full path through the mid lane after not even 6 minutes played, I guess. That was the time when we closed the deal on the mid lane, and now Zata is going to try to do something. Valheim is there, but it's just not working. Team coordination is actually ace on our team, and it's quite bad on the opposing team. Usually when I play games, it's the complete different kind of matchup, and I've just recorded some games today where you guys are going to see what I am talking about. Like, no coordination at all, no communication whatsoever, so no one is calling anything, and that's basically causing the game to completely collapse, because if you don't have any sort of communication, you can't really do anything about the game. You need to communicate, because it's key. You need to know what your teammates are going to do, and in most of the scenarios the team didn't, and in this case it worked out quite nicely. So we have a game that was just going on for 8 minutes 30 before the victory, less than 8 minutes 30, and I think it was basically super clean. I managed to go into Platinum 4 end line here. Good game from all of my guys here on my team. 11.3, so a really good score for us. And yeah, this is it. So that's the end of the game. Actually quite decent damage with 20%. So I would say thanks for watching. Have a nice evening, and bye-bye. Stay tuned. There's another video on this channel to come, so keep it updated. Thank you. Bye-bye.